Kansas is to bioscience as Silicon Valley is to computer chips. It's a well-kept secret, but Kansas is one of the nation's leading, if not the leading, areas for development in the biosciences. The first person that you're looking at here is involved with a company that develops ethanol plants. Right now, most of our ethanol plants are made with from corn and milo. In the future, they're working on ethanol plants that can be made from any biodegradable material, from wood chips to switchgrass. Of course, we haven't got that developed yet, but we're working on it. Kansas is, of course, a leader, and one of the things that makes me unhappy is the continued malign of ethanol as that we're starving people. Ethanol is made from starch. The protein is actually left in the feed, and so actually when you make ethanol, you actually have a better feed product. You have to actually thin it with wheat straw or something when you feed it to cattle. Of course, those people such as PETA that don't want animals used would rather people eat the corn and the milo. But actually, when you feed it to animals, the production of ethanol makes a better feedstock. Kansas is a leader in bioscience, and in 2004, we decided to set aside a part of our income, in fact, a considerable part. Everything that is in Kansas to do with bioscience, labeled as far as the tax, from 2004 we started keeping only 5% growth in that industry in the Treasury. We took all the rest of that and we put it into a special fund called the Kansas Bioscience Authority. What you're seeing is a tour that I took in November of different facilities that have been benefiting and using funds to develop new bioscience and projects in using this fund and this authority. Now, this has amounted to $95 million, of which $65 million is now under investment in the state of Kansas, growing jobs, and you're looking at some of these. What you're looking at right here is at Wichita State University, where they are developing a plan to use airplane composites to make replacements such as joints, pins. I have a pin in my leg that was put there in 1962. It doesn't rub against anything. The bone has grown around it, which is fortunate for me because if it wasn't, by now it would have wore out. Titanium is used in most replacements today, and it is hard, and when it rubs against something, then it causes problems. Notice that door there does not have any seams, no wells, no rivets. It's entirely smooth. And of course, if you're wanting to do something inside that you're going to put inside of a human being, you want to have that be smooth because human flesh, even bone, does not do very well rubbing against. So Wichita U, in conjunction with Via Christi and medical societies in the Wichita area and leading doctors, have developed a process used in the aircraft industry, and I don't know exactly how this works. It's proprietary in nature, so kind of secretive, but they know how to use it and they're working to put it together. But they actually can combine two pieces of metal so that you're going to see it being taken right out of the machine and hold it, and it's perfectly cool. And it'll also, you can grind it down and be perfectly smooth. Now, this type of materials are already being used in the wounded warrior treatment And by the way, at Junction City, we're developing a new hospital being built right now to treat wounded warriors from all over the United States, giving them external prosthesis, and you've probably seen them run on them and jump and do all kinds of things that would be almost unbelievable, and that's due to those composite materials. Of course, if it's used inside the body, it's going to have trials, and those trials are going to have to involve some pretty important things. First they go to animals, and then they go to humans, and so it takes as much as 10 years to get FDA approval for use. But we're in the first stages. The next stage, we go to Junction City. Junction City has a plant there that grows biologically engineered rice. It has human proteins in it. One of the advantages of Junction City is there is no rice grown for about 250 miles, and it grows well in Junction City. They use this protein, and through a complicated process, to make medicines for diarrhea. Diarrhea kills many children in the third world. So through bioscience, we've developed a medicine that is literally saving thousands of lives around the world. Of course, the security and the process is very important, and I was told how this was very unique, that they were letting me take so many pictures. And this is important to us, but we are curing people all over the world. The next is a company that came from Scotland. They literally came here because Kansas doesn't give tax credits, although we will give tax credits, but it also actually gives people money to come and locate their industry because of the Bioscience Authority. This company is developing a test to tell, kind of like the prostate test, to see if you have cancer, either lung cancer or breast cancer. And this test will then be having people fly in the results from all over the world into KCI Airport. They will then be tested and sent out so that people can have their lives saved all over the world. Another industry in Kansas is making mediums. What in the world is a medium? And I'm not talking about some Swami or something. This company that you're now touring makes the little stuff, the jelly in the Petri dishes, like when they take a culture and they're going to grow some buggies or something. They need a very pure medium so that they know whatever they're growing is exactly what they're growing and nothing else. That is what this company makes. We're back in Johnson County. In another area, we have a young lady this young lady is developing a cure for osteoporosis. Not just a treatment, it's in the first stages in animals, but an actual cure for osteoporosis. There's a bone of a mouse that has been cured. Of course, we're going to help people too. The next company specializes in helping to develop from trials to products. And we have something called the incubator that we are now working on developing and putting this all together so that a scientist can develop his product and actually deliver his product to market in much less than the 10 years that we currently have. I want to thank the people that had this tour, and I want people to realize that when we talk about budget cuts, Chairman Yoder made a very good statement. The governor wanted to and did cut some of this money from the Bioscience Authority. Chairman Yoder made a very wise statement for a young man. He said, "You don't eat your seed corn."